They had it all: beauty, wealth, and charm. Wherever they went, they dazzled with their luxurious lifestyle and irresistible charisma. But no one knew the truth about Charlotte and Amelia. Behind their smiles and lavish parties was a house of horrors. What happened to those who trusted them? And why did their neighbors hear screams late at night? Stay with us as we uncover the dark, chilling secret of the sisters who hid evil behind a veil of elegance. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, two sisters, Charlotte and Amelia, arrived in style. Their entrance was always dramatic. A sleek black car, expensive designer clothing, their luxurious and ability to host extravagant parties dazzled their neighbors. No one knew their real story, but everyone whispered about them. Where did they get their money? Why did they never stay in one place for more than 6 months? The sisters rented a luxurious bungalow at the edge of the neighborhood. One fateful evening, they moved into the estate on the outskirts of the city. They offered help to struggling families, gave gifts to children, and threw housewarming parties that left everyone dazzled. But beneath their sparkling facade lay a chilling secret. Children loved them for the gifts they brought, and parents admired their supposed kindness. Little did anyone know, beneath their glamour lay a dark secret. Charlotte and Amelia were not ordinary women. They lived double lives. Their wealth came not from businesses or inheritance, as they often claimed, but from criminal activities that thrived in secrecy. Mama Chidinma, an elderly widow who lived next door, was the first to sense something was wrong. She often saw strange men visiting the sisters at odd hours, carrying heavy sacks into the house, but leaving empty-handed. At night, she sometimes caught the faint whiff of a foul metallic odor wafting from their backyard. The sisters had a far more sinister side. They were part of a network that kidnapped children for rituals. They preyed on neighborhoods with trusting communities, observing families, and marking their targets. When the sisters finally got settled in their new home, they threw a small, exclusive gathering, inviting only select neighbors to get to know them. These parties soon became infamous for their luxury and exclusivity. The neighborhood was immediately drawn to them. The sisters' parties were unlike anything the neighborhood had seen before. They would send elegant, handwritten invitations to only young single women, often praising them for their beauty and charm. At these gatherings, the women were showered with expensive gifts, designer bags, jewelry, and perfumes. Charlotte and Amelia had a particular interest in virgins. As the night progressed, their conversations would turn oddly personal. "We admire pure, untainted women," Charlotte would say, her smile dazzling. "There's a certain power in innocence." They asked their guests strange questions. "Have you ever been in love? Are you still pure? Would you sacrifice everything for success?" The sisters spoke of wealth and power, hinting that they could help the women achieve their dreams. Most attendees left feeling flattered but unsettled. A few, however, returned for private meetings with the sisters. Those women were never seen again. They sold these innocent lives to ritualists for enormous sums of money, maintaining their lavish lifestyle. One day, Mama Chidinma saw a little boy from the neighborhood, Obi, walking toward the sisters' house. Mama Chidinma's stomach churned. She warned Obi's mother, Nkechi, to be careful, but Nkechi laughed it off. "They're generous ladies. Not everyone is out to hurt us," Nkechi said, shaking her head. But that night, Obi didn't come home. Panic spread through the neighborhood as parents frantically searched for their missing children. By morning, 2 more children were unaccounted for. The sisters offered their help, organizing search parties, and even donating money to aid the search. They appeared distraught, but Mama Chidinma wasn't convinced. Panic spread through the neighborhood as parents frantically searched for their missing children. By morning, 2 more children were unaccounted for. The sisters offered their help, organizing search parties, and even donating money to aid the search. They appeared distraught, but Mama Chidinma wasn't convinced. Driven by her instincts, Mama Chidinma decided to investigate. One stormy night, she climbed over the wall separating her yard from the sisters' house. Through a crack in their kitchen window, she saw Charlotte stirring a large pot on the stove, while Amelia chopped something on a wooden board. At first, she thought it was meat, but then she saw a small, bloodied shoe lying nearby. Mama Chidinma's heart pounded in terror. The next day, Charlotte and Amelia welcomed a group of distinguished visitors to their home. Black SUVs with tinted windows pulled up to their driveway, and out stepped men and women dressed in finely tailored suits and expensive accessories. These were no ordinary guests. These were dignitaries, influential figures who commanded power and respect in society. The sisters greeted them with their signature charm, offering warm smiles and gracious hospitality. Soon, the house buzzed with quiet conversations and clinking glasses as the sisters hosted a small, private gathering. The living room was transformed into an elegant party space, with soft music playing in the background, a spread of luxurious food and drinks on the dining table, and dim golden lighting, casting an air of sophistication. As the night deepened, the atmosphere turned slightly odd. The dignitaries, seated comfortably on leather couches, seemed to be waiting for something. Charlotte and Amelia disappeared into a back room momentarily, re-emerging with a tray of small, peculiar dishes. "To our special guests," Charlotte said, her voice smooth and inviting, as she placed the tray on the table. "A delicacy prepared just for you." The guests eagerly indulged, nodding in approval as they savored the dish, as though they had been expecting it. The sisters were ritualists. Not only did they kidnap children for sacrificial rituals, but they also cooked and sold human flesh to their wealthy, depraved clients. After some months passed by, these sisters again targeted a girl named Annie, a cheerful 7-year-old who lived next door. Her family adored her, and she often played in the sisters' yard, giggling as Charlotte handed her chocolates. They knew Annie's routine well, and waited for the right moment to strike. But this time the sisters had underestimated this neighborhood. Annie's mother, a well-known tailor, a vigilant woman named Mrs. Okolo, grew suspicious. She couldn't understand why the sisters always moved so frequently. She noticed strange visitors arriving at odd hours, leaving with briefcases and shifty glances. Mrs. Okolo decided to investigate. One night, Mrs. Okolo overheard the sisters arguing through an open window. "We need to make this delivery soon as possible, if not the next one," Amelia hissed. "Relax," Charlotte replied. "Baba knows we need to be careful in handling this package. The girl will be ours soon." Mrs. Okolo's heart raced. She immediately alerted her husband, who in turn alerted the local vigilante group. Together, they devised a plan to expose the sisters. The next evening, while Annie played outside, the sisters made their move. Charlotte lured her with a doll, promising more gifts inside their house. As Annie stepped in, Amelia quickly locked the door. But before they could execute their plan, the vigilantes stormed in, catching the sisters red-handed. The sisters tried to escape. Amelia grabbed a knife from the kitchen, and lunged at Emmanuel, but he managed to disarm her. Charlotte made a run for the backyard, but the vigilantes blocked her path. A fierce struggle ensued before both sisters were subdued and handed over to the police. The house was searched, and what they found horrified the community. Fake IDs and files containing details of children from other neighborhoods they had targeted. Their house was searched thoroughly, revealing a shrine hidden beneath the basement. It was adorned with grotesque symbols, human skulls, and ritualistic items. Their trial became a nationwide sensation. They confessed to years of kidnapping, murder, and cannibalistic rituals, claiming their wealth and beauty came from spiritual blessings. News of their crimes spread like wildfire. The once beloved sisters were unmasked as cold-hearted criminals who had ruined countless lives. They confessed to their heinous acts, revealing the extent of their network and the horrors they had committed. The neighborhood celebrated Annie's rescue, but the scars of the sisters' betrayal ran deep. Their story became a cautionary tale, a grim reminder that not all that glitters is gold. Moral of the story: beware of those who seem too good to be true. Evil often wears a mask of kindness and charm, preying on the unsuspecting. Be vigilant. Evil often disguises itself in charm and generosity. Trust your instincts, and never ignore signs that something may be wrong. If you enjoyed listening to this story, kindly subscribe, comment, and give a thumbs